Live, local, now. WMBF starts with breaking news.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Erica Edwards. We begin with a sad update tonight. The Horry County Coroner's Office confirms the 2 children killed in a shooting last week in a Carolina Forest neighborhood died at the hands of their own mother in a murder-suicide. Horry County Police say 42-year-old Laura Moberly, along with her 2 kids, 11-year-old Eric Moberly and 8-year-old Emily Moberly, were all found shot to death at a home on Centennial Circle. Officers found them 1 week ago after a welfare check. The coroner's office says the manner of death for Emily and Eric was ruled homicide, while Laura's death was ruled a suicide. Officials believe the shooting itself happened hours before they were found. Horry County Schools confirmed Laura Moberly was a reading loss interventionist at Carolina Forest Elementary School. Emily was a 3rd grade student at Carolina Forest Elementary, and Eric was in 7th grade at Ten Oaks Middle School. An announcement from McMillan Small Funeral Home shows 1 funeral service will be held for Laura, Eric, and Emily Moberly tomorrow afternoon. Friends will be received from 2 to 3:30 at Carolina Forest Community Church before the funeral at 4. A burial will follow at Centenary United Methodist Church Cemetery in Conway. In lieu of flowers, the family asks that donations be made to the Moberly Family Fund through Carolina Forest Elementary School or the Moberly Family Care Fund through Jennifer Lee at Carolina Trust Federal Credit Union. There's also a GoFundMe page set up on behalf of the family to help cover the cost of burying a wife and 2 children. You can find the link in our web story on WMBFnews.com. Happening right now, the trial for the man accused of kidnapping and killing an 80-year-old Horry County grandmother is underway. Authorities allege Dominique Brand kidnapped Marianne Elvington from her home in Nichols in March of last year. They say he then forced her to drive to North Carolina and ended up shooting and killing her behind an abandoned grocery store in Marion County. Elvington's son testifies there was a phone call between him and his mother and an OnStar operator. He says Elvington told the operator many times she didn't know where she was. You can hear car doors being opened and shut during that recording. Authorities also presented surveillance video in court that's believed to show Elvington and Brand on Main Street North in Lakeview. The video appears to show Elvington getting out of the driver's seat and moving to the passenger side while Brand gets into the driver's seat. A lieutenant with the Horry County Police Department says she collected evidence from where the abandoned car was found. The lieutenant told the judge she found a red substance similar to, quote, marinara sauce or pizza sauce in the battery box and under the car of the hood of the car. The prosecution says that's important because they allege in the days leading up to Elvington's disappearance and death, Brand broke into her home and had enough time to cook and eat a frozen pizza there. Our Ali Espinosa is in the courtroom following this case for us. She joins us live beginning on WMBF News at 5 with an in-depth breakdown of today's hearing.
Well, a busy afternoon here along the Grand Strand. Some strong storms moving right along the coast. Very heavy rain sending up through Carolina Forest. Already seeing some totals here up around an inch of rain in spots from the farm back through Berkshire. Very heavy rain basically from Forest Brook all the way to International Drive, and seeing that expand up through Grand Dunes, and quite a bit of lightning with this storm. In fact, we've had some lightning strike a couple miles out ahead of the rain here, so likely a beach clearing storm that's just slowly drifting back towards the Grand Strand. We're starting to see that rain pick up here through our Grand Dunes, Arcadian, up through the outlets, and some lighter rain now through Barefoot in North Myrtle Beach, and it's just the beginning. Another active stretch of weather here as we head through the next couple of days. Now we go through this evening, we'll continue to see some downpours, isolated storms going through at least sunset, then slowly winding down, although some showers may try to linger through tomorrow morning. And we go into the afternoon, we kind of started over again with a couple more downpours, a storm or two mixed in as we head through Thursday afternoon. More widespread, potentially heavy rain setting up as we head into the weekend. I'll have a look at that soggy weekend forecast coming up.
First at 4, jail records reveal a Myrtle Beach woman is back in custody for allegedly manufacturing and possessing a bomb. J. Reuben Long Detention Center's website shows Myrtle Beach police officers arrested Crystal Jaworski on Friday. She faces a number of drug charges as well as the charges related to a bomb. Warrants show officers found an active explosive device in her car while executing a search warrant at her home last Thursday. But this isn't the first time she's been accused of possessing a bomb. Warrants for a previous arrest back in April 2021 reveal she helped a second suspect make a pipe bomb and tried to set it off outside a Longhorn Steakhouse in Florence. WMBF's investigative reporter Ashley Bowles is digging deeper into this case. She joins us in studio with an update beginning on WMBF News at 5. Several lanes near Highway 905 and Old Reeves Ferry Road in the Conway area are closed after a two-car crash this afternoon. Horry County Fire Rescue says crews took 2 people to the hospital with injuries. The crash happened around 2:20. Highway Patrol is investigating. A new report reveals an attempted murder investigation led to the chase in the Loris area yesterday afternoon. Horry County Police responded to Stallion Court near Conway in reference to attempted murder. Officers found the suspect on Highway 701 North, which then led to a chase. The pursuit ended in a crash near the intersection of Main and Butler Streets within the city limits of Loris. No one was hurt and the suspect is in custody. We're still waiting to get the suspect's name once police serve them with warrants. The city of Myrtle Beach just revealed why you'll want to visit downtown more often. Our Michaela Evans joins us with exactly how Myrtle Beach plans to transform the Arts and Innovation District.
Myrtle Beach just shared its plan, and it will take some time, but Assistant City Manager Brian Tucker tells me this will take the downtown area back to the good old days.
If I'm a longtime resident of the city of Myrtle Beach, and you remember the 50s and 60s when downtown Myrtle Beach was a place, the idea that we're moving back toward creating a place and creating a reason for people to come downtown.
While both the price tag and final plans are not yet set, here's what Myrtle Beach has in mind. The city plans to add a community hub and park. These 2 buildings on the right side of your screen will be the center of the hub. Myrtle Beach hopes it could include a library and possibly a children's museum with apartments above it. Over here on the left side of your screen will be the community park. The city envisions it as a flexible and functional space, which could include things like retail stores, food trucks, and a space for small concerts and even weddings. Tucker says the downtown area will have to get a lot uglier before we see the new and improved. Crews will first have to reconstruct and realign the roads. That portion costs nearly $30 million and will begin in April. In Myrtle Beach, Michaela Evans, WMBF News.
First at 4, a federal judge is denying a request to stop enforcing North Myrtle Beach's beach wears ordinances. It stems from the ongoing legal battle between Cherry Grove Beach Gear and the city. The business was asking a federal judge for a preliminary injunction that would keep the city from enforcing 2 ordinances and allow the company to continue offering its beach setup services. Cherry Grove Beach Gear provides umbrellas, chairs, coolers, and other items for visitors looking to spend a day at the beach. The company also offers to deliver the beach gear and set it up for an additional cost. But city ordinances say only the city or a franchised business can set up items on the beach for a profit. Could these small cabins be the key to helping the homeless population? Columbia City leaders seem to think so after announcing plans to transform the city's current inclement weather center into Rapid Shelter Columbia. It would be the first transitional housing project of its kind in the Southeast. The campus will be open 24/7 and include 50 individual cabins, similar to some types of tiny homes. The leader of the city's homelessness task force believes this is the best way to provide housing to what the city has identified as 250 chronically unhoused people. They hope to have it up and running by November 1st. The campus will provide housing and wraparound services with the goal of eventually helping people transition to permanent housing.
Success looks like less people having to choose living on the street because they don't have options. Success looks like our entertainment districts and our citizens having a good quality of life while some of our most vulnerable have access to the services that we need.
The city also plans to hire a homelessness czar in the coming weeks who will measure outcomes and oversee the Rapid Shelter campus. Return of heat and humidity and some storms. Oh, take a look at that. First Alert meteorologist Robert Whitehurst continues to track all these potential downpours heading into the evening. And every 11 minutes, someone dies by suicide in the U.S. The steps that you can take that could save a life. September is National Suicide Prevention Month. It's designed to create awareness and promote actions people can take to prevent suicides. When it comes to suicides, the numbers are staggering. There are about twice as many suicides in the United States as there are homicides. WMBF News Today anchor Darion Henderson explains what you can do to help.
There are about 130 people who die by suicide each day. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States. It's top 3 among young adults and adolescents.
The rates of mental disorders linked to suicides are also on the rise. Studies show depression rates in the U.S. tripled in the early months of the pandemic, and a study from Boston University found depression now affects 1 in 3 Americans.
We know that depression is a major risk factor for suicide attempt.
But there are steps that can be taken to reduce the risk factor and others.
That oftentimes just starts or can begin with telling someone, a friend, a family member, or a doctor that you are in fact struggling.
And if you know someone who is struggling, you don't have to wait until they talk to you. Be sensitive and give direct questions such as, are you thinking about hurting yourself, or do you have access to weapons or things that can be used as weapons to harm yourself? Studies show talking about suicide decreases rather than increases the risk for suicide. Also, encourage them to speak to a mental health professional and never promise to keep someone's suicidal thoughts a secret. With steps to take that may save a life, I'm Darian Henderson reporting.
No, I get it.
There are things Congress can do too. New research from the American Psychological Association found in states with hate crime laws protecting LGBTQIA+ populations, the rate of suicide attempts among gay and straight high school students dropped significantly. If you or anyone you know needs help, you can call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 988. And our investigative reporter Ashley Bowles dug deeper into the new number and how calls in South Carolina are handled. She also looked into a state law requiring the 988 number on the back of high school student IDs. You can find these 2 in-depth pieces right now on WMBFnews.com. Just click on the Investigate tab at the top of the homepage.
Now, the certified most accurate forecast from First Alert meteorologist Robert Whitehurst.
A live look from our tower cam here, looking back towards Broadway, and can just barely see kind of a wall of water here with those downpours and storms that have been making their way gradually towards the Grand Strand. And we've seen some very heavy rain setting up through Carolina Forest, upwards of 1 to 1.5 inches up and down Carolina Forest Boulevard, seeing those numbers bumping up to right around an inch from right along River Oaks near Berkshire. And this is just slowly drifting back towards the coast, now bringing that heavy rain through Broadway, up through the Grand Dunes, and then some lighter rain now setting up all the way up the Grand Strand through North Myrtle Beach, but the heaviest of the rain basically south of the outlets there on 17. And as I mentioned, just slowly moving back towards the Grand Strand. Inland areas also seeing some heavy rain. We've seen these downpours setting up along Highway 9 between Longs and Loris. If you don't see the rain today, there's plenty of opportunities, especially into the weekend. So looking at a soggy weekend forecast as we make our way through Saturday and Sunday. We head through tonight. We'll begin to see the rain slowly wind down through sunset, although a couple lingering downpours certainly a possibility as we head through the overnight hours. Future radar showing a couple of those showers early tomorrow morning before sunrise. We go through tomorrow afternoon, and a similar story to what we've seen today. We do expect a couple more of these downpours to fire up, and it's one of those days where not everybody sees the rain, but if you get underneath one of these, quickly dropping some heavy rain. And more clouds around tomorrow, mainly cloudy through the afternoon. Temperatures a bit cooler, low 80s with those clouds and showers kind of on and off as we head through the afternoon. Friday ends up being one of our driest days as that tropical moisture sits just to our south, but notice by Saturday that really filters in through the eastern Carolinas through Saturday and Sunday, and that's going to bring the rain chances back and likely some widespread rain through Saturday, on and off, heavy at times. Rain chances still elevated through Sunday. It does look like the heaviest of the rain is Saturday, but outdoor plans even on Sunday likely turn in soggy at times here, and we'll keep it going all the way into early next week. You notice the rain chances, they are up there, 70% now for Saturday. Still expecting a good coverage of the rain through Sunday. Temperatures not moving much with all the clouds and rain in place. We'll keep the low 80s through Saturday and Sunday, and with the rain turning heavy at times, another 1, 2, maybe 3 inches of rain in spots here through Sunday. Pretty good soaking as we go through the weekend. Also busy in the tropics, still watching a couple tropical waves out towards Africa. The first one starting to show some signs of development. That one heads out to sea. That's good news. And the 2 hurricanes here, Earl continuing to strengthen, Danielle in the far northern Atlantic. Neither of those storms will be a problem for the East Coast, but both headed out to sea. You can see the rip current threat increasing over the next couple of days, though, thanks to the waves from Earl.
Thanks, Robert. A North Carolina company's product, and sales tactics are sparking complaints across the state and around the country. Customers tell the North Carolina Attorney General they were sold expensive solar panels with promises it would save them money, only for the equipment not to work, leaving in the customers in massive debt. Gray Media's Dave Hodges dug deeper into complaints, and found that the malfunctioning solar powers were not working, but still costing customers a fortune.
It's a puzzle from hell.
Alexander Peets has spent a lot of time dealing with this nest of a mess at his home.
Oh, the first time they said that it wasn't wired right.
It's the problem behind the current of the solar panels he bought from Pink Energy, a problem that's been costly and dangerous.
I actually had a tech come out here and tell me that he couldn't believe my house didn't burn to the ground.
Peets filed this complaint with the North Carolina Attorney General's office against Pink Energy. Until recently, the company was called Power Home Solar, based in Mooresville. The business has been renamed Pink Energy.
I figured go local. How can you lose?
But according to his complaint, Peets is losing big time. Installation that was supposed to take less than a week has dragged on for 8 months. And when the project was finished, the solar panels were supposed to drop his bill to $50.
I mean, I still have $300 a month power bills. That's what I was trying to avoid.
He says the panels are completely inoperable, and instead of saving money, he's paying thousands for nothing.
I'm literally stuck with a $70,000 system and a loan over my head that I'm not getting any benefit from.
Peets is far from alone. More than 80 complaints have been filed with the North Carolina Attorney General's office, with those customers claiming they have more than $2 million in loans combined for systems that were supposed to save them money, but aren't.
We end up with a lot of these companies across the country with salespeople that have less than adequate training.
Gabe Amy is sales manager with Cape Fear Solar Systems. He talked with our sister station, WECT, about all the work he has taking over people's solar panel jobs after reality didn't live up to the promises of sales tactics of other companies.
They aren't really sure about what they're really offering. They're just given limited information about what to go out there and sell. And the priority becomes to sell more, sell fast.
Pink Energy is facing an investigation from the Missouri Attorney General's office, which issued an investigative demand for information regarding its practices for sales and installation of solar panels. There are more than a dozen lawsuits filed against Pink by customers and subcontractors in 2022 alone. As lawsuits and investigations start building, customers like Peets just want to be freed from their tangled mess, and for North Carolina to join Missouri in getting answers and justice for consumers.
Some government agency needs to be looking into it. So, I mean, someone has to.
Pink Energy representatives responded to this report by our sister station in Charlotte with a 10-page prepared response about its lawsuit against a company called Generac that supplied the batteries for the systems. A spokesperson for the North Carolina Attorney General's office also says they are actively reviewing complaints and working with the company to resolve the concerns. It's one of the premier places in the Grand Strand to watch sporting events, and our Andrew Dockery gets a taste of their menu coming up. Football is back, and if you need somewhere to watch all the action, Dagwood's Deli and Sports Bar has you covered. Today, our Grand Strand Today team took a trip to the wildly popular restaurant and gives us a look at what they have to offer and even a potential new item to the menu, inspired by First Alert meteorologist Andrew Dockery.
This here is our chicken cordon bleu sandwich.
Okay.
And so basically, we take our chicken and, you know, we throw the romaine and the ham and the honey mustard and all the goodies.
This looks amazing.
I love that you hunch. He's got the most perfect sandwich hunch, and it brings me so much joy. Yeah,
if I eat it up here, it's going everywhere.
It's going everywhere. And you got to go do the weather in a little while.
Oh my goodness, that chicken cordon bleu.
Chicken cordon bleu.
Look, you made my day with this coming up.
Okay, so this. So for those of you who know Andrew, he loves coming in. He likes to eat. He loves coming in here. So he was in here a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And I believe you messaged us on Facebook. And
I did.
He was saying, I have created my own sandwich. So this is what he's done. He's taking a spin off of one of our sandwiches, the California Club Wrap, which has avocado ranch and everything else. But what did he put in there? Homemade chicken tenders. Oh. Yes, we got that. So this, I believe, we'll call the Dockery Club. And this will be on. When you see a daily special, we're going to blast you out there.
I love this.
Dipping it in ranch, all the goodness.
It tastes so
Is it
good.
fun? Good.
Oh my goodness, Mary Beth, you all made it.
You created this concoction.
Look, I just said, can we substitute the turkey for the chicken fritters? It's the best thing I've ever done.
Right? Great decisions.
Oh my goodness.
hope that looks delicious. You can watch Andrew's full Dining with Dockery segment right now on WMBFnews.com. Just click on the Grand Strand Today tab at the top of the page. And don't forget, you can always catch new episodes each weekday at 11 before WMBF News at noon. Today in entertainment news, a sneak peek at a new movie starring 2 Oscar winners and a preview of a series that brings new meaning to the word extreme. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Someone's bugging you. What is it?
Sometimes kids say bad words about the black kids. Who's that? Somebody from my old school. Did they ever come to your house?
What do you do when that happens?
Obviously nothing, of course.
You think that's smart?
Here's your first look at Armageddon Time, inspired by writer-director James Gray's childhood in 1980s Queens, New York. Anne Hathaway, Jeremy Strong, Banks Rapetta, Jalen Webb, and Anthony Hopkins star in the drama, which opens in select theaters October 28th and in wide release November 11th.
Pushing through the physical barriers can be transformative. Pushing through the mental barriers is a transcendent experience.
Edge of the Unknown with Jimmy Chin follows elite adventure athletes as they push the limits of what human beings can do. The show premiered Monday on Nat Geo and debuts today on Disney+. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
A wall of storms making their way towards the Grand Strand. First Alert meteorologist Robert Whitehurst has a look at the rain on the way. Plus, requiring middle school students to stay with their parents at football games. WMBF's Samuel Shelton spoke with district leaders in the PD about the change.